Hello guys, how you doing? SimUK here. This is The Catch from Dovetail Games. Now, if you know my channel at all, you'll know that I'm pretty critical of Dovetail Games' business management approach. I don't like the way that they seem to copy and paste something, make a few little tweaks, and then resell the game. Thankfully, or interestingly, that isn't what they've done here. This is very much a different game. Notice the bicycle wheel? It's an interesting spot. This is very different to the previous edition of their fishing simulator. Things have changed a lot here. Now, they sent me this key for free to review for you, and I've already spent a good 4 hours playing this game, but unfortunately my recording software was turned off, so we didn't get any of that footage. So I'm basically going to start again from the beginning, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I've got 4 hours worth of experience. Now, the quick review is this. This is actually not a bad game at all. But it does have that stereotypical Dovetail Games lack of finish to it. Things they could have... they must have tested this game themselves, surely to goodness. And how on earth they didn't see the issues that are in this game, because they are everywhere. But if you can look past those, underneath is actually not a bad game at all. Now, I wouldn't say it was a simulator. It definitely lacks too many things in that regard, and there are quite a few bugs and issues that I've mentioned. But the underlying game experience is actually quite decent. I've enjoyed the 4 hours that I've invested into this game a lot. And yeah, let's jump in. Let's fire up and go. Dovetail updates. Your species hunting journey starts here. In the catch, Carp and Coarse, you will need to be using the right equipment and tactics to get the best results when you're out fishing on the lake. The correct bait in the right place at the right time will make all the difference, and it actually does. I've taken part in quite a few competitions, and if I'm not set up correctly, I'm not catching a damn thing. And it's quite easy to lose a catch as well. I initially thought that it was so easy, it was like a mini game. You can see up there my level is level 7, which is a novice angler. I haven't won any competitions yet. I've come close a couple of times, but all of that footage is gone, so we'll be trying again from here. As you continue to catch more fish, you will learn about the preferences of each of the 35 species in game and the most effective techniques for getting them into your net, from float fishing for rudd, eyed and bream, to using lures for the trout, salmon and pike. You will need to experiment. I caught a pike. That was quite a brilliant catch. I really enjoyed that. But again, that footage is gone. And also, it was in a competition where catching pike was not on the menu. So, it was easily the biggest fish caught that day. It just didn't count towards anything. It is fun, this game. For those looking for the rarer, more exotic species of fish, you can fish for pacu, mekong, catfish and Siamese carp. Now, I've nearly caught a catfish about 20 times. One of the biggest frustrations I had, and I've only just reminded myself of it, I was in a competition trying to catch catfish, and when the old alarm goes off on your rod, the animation delay. So if you click 1, 2 or 3, you'll pick up the corresponding rod immediately. And the animation for that it's not too slow, it's about right. But then there's this long, at least 1.5 seconds, 2 second delay after the animation where nothing you do does anything. And you're trying to snap this catfish in so that you can reel it in. And before you've even managed to get the bloody game to respond to you, it blocks out. There are so many other issues as well, and I'm sure I'll run into them all again, and hopefully I'll remember to moan and bitch and whinge about them like I do in all my reviews, because that is the point of a review, by the way, in case you don't know, is to find the problems, find that it's a critical review. If I wasn't being critical of all the problems, big and small, then I would be promoting the game. But also, I am promoting the game, because it's not all bad. The underlying game experience is pretty good. So, yeah. Christ, that's a long intro. Along with thousands of potential personal best fish, there is the challenge of netting all 125 of the boss fish in game. Ooh. Included in the boss fish are 11 monster boss fish, the hardest to catch in the game. Their elusive nature and the hard fighting they put up will take all of your skill and knowledge to hook and land them. There we go. Choose your approach to fishing. The Catch, Carp and Coarse has a variety of game modes that will allow you to hone your species hunting skills. Fishing Trip pits you against the fish in a no-pressure game mode where you can learn about the lakes and the species that you are catching. Once you have built up your knowledge, you can start targeting those personal best-beating monsters. The fish won't be your only foe in the Catch, as you can take on other AI anglers in single-player events, with 6 possible rule sets to compete in. Can you come out on top? Now, in the previous game that I reviewed, I highlighted this as an issue. I went fishing with an old friend of mine, and we found that the biggest issue with it was that we always had to compete against each other. We couldn't just go out and chill and fish. So they've actually taken that on board, and they've fixed that, which is really cool. Head into multiplayer with your friends or head into the lobby to make new angling buddies. These 4-player sessions can be played in a competitive setting or as a chilled out fishing trip where you compare notes and chase those boss fish together. So that's cool. You can catch boss fish whilst you are in multiplayer mode. That's great. That's a really good addition. They've really listened and they've addressed that particular issue, so that's good. Our online tournaments allow you to take on fellow anglers in the Dovetail Fishing League. Each week there will be 4 tournaments for you to participate in as you try to become our Angler of the Month. Again, I think that's quite cool. I like that. It's like a community-led thing. And this, what you're looking at here, this like screensaver, if you will, as you progress in the game, you can unlock new ones, and then you can pick, I don't know what that is, a bubble? A hexagon-shaped bubble? I don't know what that is. But you can unlock new ones. I don't think I've unlocked any yet, but that's a nice little feature. I think it's good. Oh, there you go. Choose underwater scene. But I've only got the starting one. Right, let's go back. Let's go back. So this is the menu, and I've got to say, I guess they've kind of clumped the menu over here on the left so that you get to enjoy as much of this as possible. Not really a fan of that, to be honest. You know, I can always hide the menu if I want to look at this, but when I'm looking at the menu, I just want it to be bigger, really. So you've got last played, which will take you back to your previous fishing spot, which is handy. You've got fishing trip, which, as we've already mentioned, is the ability to basically go anywhere. None of these places are locked. You can go and fish at any of them. You can fish for anything. You can buy anything. There's no levels that you need to attain before you can unlock a specific piece of equipment. That's a great way of doing it. I think that's far better. I mean, I just find that leveling up is a really old school, crappy way of doing things. And in my humble opinion, it doesn't belong in simulation at all. So I'm glad they haven't gone down that route. You can see what fish are available here. You can also see what the boss fish are at each of these locations. How was I hunting for catfish? Pearl Lake? It may have been Pearl Lake. Yeah, the Mekong catfish. Really hard to pull. Really hard to hook these on. But I'll be honest, I haven't fished since I was probably about 16 was the last time I actually went fishing. So I'm no professional. So anything I do that's wrong, please correct me, and then I can improve. So this is the mastery stuff. We've already read that. News. Not sure what all this stuff is. So anyway, customization. So you've got your tackle box. You can create new ones. So you would just go new tackle box, box, and then now I'm not a fan of this. I'll be honest with you. You click on edit, and then basically you've got 3 rods and 2, whatever you call these things, spods, a throwing arm. So you can change any of these to be whatever you like. And like I say, nothing is locked by level, which is good. You can filter by stuff. Now some of them are are there, but empty. So let me see here. I saw dead a minute ago. There we go. So like dead fish. Well, obviously that's not something you're going to throw. So my argument is, why have it in the list? It's a small thing. It's because I worked in the industry. These are the things I look at. These are the things that irritate me. I'm like, well, why did you put it in there then? It shouldn't be there, should it? So you can see here, if we do this and go dead, then we actually have some stuff. You've got chicken liver, you've got chopped worm, you've got boilies, which are like, if you don't know what these are, they're like stuff that's been ground down and squashed together. So essential oil and taline extractor blend to match a blend of flavours on different bases. It's just like dissolvable balls of flavour that attract the fish, and they actually seem to work really quite well in this game. So I don't think I had any of this kind of stuff when I was fishing. When I was 16, I just had, all I did was float fishing, a bit of ledger fishing, and something to get the hook out of the mouth of the fish. That was pretty much it. Didn't have a lot of stuff, to be fair. So yeah, you got some live bait. The maggots are good. They're sort of a good all-rounder. The red maggots as well. The worm tells you up here what they're sort of good for. Carp Coarse. Sinking stuff. So this is if you're ledger fishing and you want to catch carp, use the sweet corn. Again, I'd say the maggot is just a winner. Vegetable, natural. Anyway, I think you've seen enough of that. The equipment, obviously, it's not really money, but it's like these TP. I don't know what that stands for. Something points. But there's quite a few rods, and they're all in different sections. Bait caster weirdly has nothing. Predator fishing. So this is this is actually, I think I bought one of these, and that's what I caught the pike with, if I remember correctly. So yeah, if you're using spinners or whatever, then you'll probably want one of these. Carp Coarse. This is, you know, your meat and veg, as it were. You got your extreme range, which so far I haven't seen any need for, but I haven't fished on all of the locations yet, so maybe there is. Medium range, short range, spinners. Actually, maybe I caught it with a spinner, can't remember. And then all. But there's quite a few there, and obviously, the better you do, the more TP you earn, and you decide what you buy. It's entirely up to you what you buy, but obviously there is a cost to everything you buy, and I think that's a much better way of doing it. Same with the reels. Lots of good reels in there. Got your ratios, if that's something that you pay any attention to. I don't, to be honest. I should, if I'm going to fish for bigger fish, if I'm going to go for the boss fish, then these are the things I'm going to have to consider. I'm not sure what benefit the lines have, other than obviously the breaking point. I don't think like the colour has any particular. I don't think it has any particular benefit, or, you know, what's the bloody word? Benefit or hindrance. It doesn't add any benefit or hinder you in any way. I remember back in the day there were lines that supposedly the fish could see and those that they couldn't, and so on. I don't think that's in this game. I'm not even sure if that's true, to be honest with you. I never believed it. So you've got quite a few floats. I'm a big fan of floats. I really like floats, and I'm a bit surprised that they're all the same, pretty much. They're all wagglers. I would like to see a lot more floats. Okay, so you've got your silk casts, you've got your weed casts, and that's it. So I'll be honest with you, in terms of what's available here, it's a bit limited. All the floats pretty much look the same. They all behave the same. I mean, in my old tackle box, there were hundreds of different floats, and I just used to basically go for whatever I felt like on the day. And that's kind of how I fish. But anyway, if I tick that one, I can then delete that one. So this is what I've been rocking with. I've got a Strike Pro Baby Buster, blue chrome. Oh, I can tell you what I used. Let's go look. So it was a spinning rod. Okay, 7-foot spinning rod. Cost me about 2,000 TP, something like that. I also swapped over to Hiacho 1000S with a 5:1:1 ratio, 5.1 to 1 ratio, and I think I kept the same. And then I just got this Strike Pro Baby Buster, which is what caught my pike. Yeah, again, Hiacho fishing rod. I think this is the default one you start with. Default again. Default, and then I just had one ledger fishing setup and one float fishing setup, and yeah, they both did a great job. It's not the best setup in the world. It nearly won me a competition, but it didn't. So anyway, I'm going to delete all of this, and we're going to start again. So appearance, you can change your character's appearance. There's quite a few heads. Normally there's hardly any. Quite similar. Quite similar. Nothing really special there. Hairstyle, there's a few to choose from. Oh my God. I just love this character. He's awesome. I might give him a cool new haircut. Hair colour, eye colour. Now, outfits, again, everything is unlocked, but you have to pay for it. And some of them are quite expensive, so but that's good. One thing I will say in Dovetail Games' defence is I don't think, at least yet, that you can buy TP with real money. So everything you earn in-game can be spent in-game, and that's the way it should be. So there's a lot of positives to say. Well done to Dovetail Games. One thing I would like them to do is have the right mouse click button to be back instead of escape. Just so much better that way. Now, as far as boats go, there's only this one. You can change the colour of it. There you go. You can, and again, this is all in game, so you can earn it and you can upgrade the boat. But to be honest with you, the boats are pretty much exactly the same as they were in the first game, and not that impressive. Angler's Lost. What have I got? Okay, you can see how much time and effort I've put into this so far. Like I say, it's about 4 hours of fishing. A lot of that was spent looking for bugs and issues, and then probably about 2 hours of actual fishing. So like I said, I haven't won any events. I've competed in 6 float events, and as you catch fish, you level up. I've caught 28 fish. I've caught 2 boss fish. I didn't even know that. Which 2 boss fish did I catch? I don't even know. 2 different types of specimen. That's weird. I've caught way more than that. Total weight 308 pounds, 474.8 inches in total length. Longest cast 287.60 feet. Now this comes back earlier to the long cast rod that you can buy. I'm already casting nearly 300 feet. Why would I want to... Sorry, punch the microphone. Why would I want to cast any further than that? Don't know. Personal best weight, 38 pound 5 ounces. Personal best length, 30.3 inches. That's probably the pike, I would say. Mastery, floating fish, 2 hours 11 minutes. Ledger fishing, 1 hour 15. Lure fishing, 12 minutes. That's when I caught the pike. I literally cast out a couple of times. He bit on it twice, and I lost him. Third time, nailed him. It was quite good actually. Favourite rod is the Hiacho fishing rod, and that's just because that's what you get to start with. Unlocked gear. I'm not sure that's the right term, but basically you have to buy it to unlock it. That's how you unlock it. There's no levels or anything like that, which is good. The mirror cut. Let's see if I can find that pike. See if I can figure out what the boss was. What bosses do they have? A lot of chump, a lot of pumpkin seed, European perch, common carp, chub, carp, mirror carp, koi carp. Oh, that's interesting. No pike. Ah. Oh, that's only showing me recent fish, but not showing me recent boss fish. That's annoying. So I've been to Rotterdam, River Ebro, Loch Mickle, Ochlies Lake and Pearl Lake. They're all pretty decent species. And this is one of the things that annoyed me, okay? So if you highlight over a fish, you can see it gives you some information and you can scroll down here or whatever. This, again, this is a UI design problem. This is Dovetail Games all over. They don't have anyone there who thinks about UI design. Well, if they do, they're not very good at it, to be fair. This is the problem I have. So I'm hovered over this one, and as you can see, there's a bit of extra content there that I can't read, so I need to scroll down. If I come up and hit that, oh my god, it swaps. So the only way to do it, like a maze, there you go. See, I just touched the edge of that one. Oh, we're going out this way. This is the only way you can scroll down. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? Talk about poor UI design. Good God. Wow, look at that fish, man. What was that? That was an ugly looking fish. That's what I... No, that's not a pike. Where's the pike? Pike, 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 pike. You see how ferocious this thing is. The northern pike, look at that! Some teeth on it. It's also quite interesting... you can't you can spin it, but you can't zoom in or anything. And it's really, really shiny. Look how shiny it is. Ferocious fish there. Oh, I nearly caught one in real life. I'm so glad that I didn't. I was petrified of catching that thing. It was on the line and it was fighting like a good one. Luckily, it threw the hook and got away. I was like, right, that's enough fishing for one day. I was only like 12 or something. Enormous bloody great thing. I tell you how I know it was enormous, because in the canal that I was fishing in, they were dredging it. So they were pulling out all the old weeds and stuff. And as the dredger lifted up the weeds and the crap out of the bottom, it pulled up this enormous carp. It was absolutely huge, good 2-3 feet long, something like that. It was enormous, probably could have been bigger than that, to be fair. It was absolutely frightening. Right, angler's log. So that's really annoying. It says that I've caught 2. It says that I've caught 2 boss fish, but it doesn't tell me which ones. Rotterdam. I don't think it was in Rotterdam. Oh look, it's only gonna tell you there. Let's see if I can find this. Could have been Loch Miggle. Oh, they've just got weird names. Okay, but you told me I caught 2 boss fish. Which 2 boss fish did I catch? Oh, according to this, I haven't caught any. So yeah, I don't know. The game tells me I've caught 2 boss fish. I don't know which 2 I've caught, because that's empty. They're not in there. The pike must have been one of them, because it was a hell of a catch. It was huge. Yeah, just the overall design and layout and stuff is pretty crap. You know, here I am trying to show you the pike that I caught, trying to figure out which 2 boss fish I caught. I can't show you because I can't find it. I don't know where that information is. According to this, I haven't caught any. Strange game. Okay, so let's completely destroy. How do I completely start again? I'm starting to think that there's no way of deleting my account and starting again. Let me start again from the beginning and see if I can do it. No fish were harmed in the making of this game. Just spotted that. Someone has a sense of humour over at Dovetail Games. That's good to see. Okay, I don't think there's any way to reset your profile, which is a bit annoying. I might be able to do it from within Dovetail Games themselves. One thing I did spot the ability to see which fish I caught. Ah, European perch. So this SF is, I think, like, I don't know, special fish? I was going to say boss fish, but that would be BF, wouldn't it? So, okay, I don't know what SF means. Eyed. So, where is that pike? There you go. You can see I've caught one pike, and according to this, it wasn't a boss fish, which is interesting. So, here we go. The pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seed. I must have caught the boss fish of the pumpkin seeds. See, look, again, if I want to rotate that fish, oh god, I have to go through the maze. Oh my god. There we go. And now I can have a proper look at it. They're a bit overly shiny, I think. I think the lighting is wrong. I think the animation on the fish is pretty good. You can see right into its gob there. Look at that. Oh my god. That's got a big gob. Yeah, I think the actual animation themselves pretty good. I tell you what I don't like is how easily you can see them out of the water. You'll see what I mean. Let's jump in and actually do some fishing. Let's go home. Let's go events. Let's do this one. How long's this? One round, 30-minute, dynamic, time of day, morning, event rules. The winner will be the angler with the highest total weight of all qualifying species caught within the time limit using only a float rig. Only a float rig. Right, okay, so let's go get ourselves... This is something I haven't done actually. I've been messing around and kind of taking it rather easy. So let's go Sim UK, float event, float box. Let's do that. Okay. Now what's interesting is if you own a rod, then you get it regardless. So you can put it in three different what do you call these things? 3 different tackle boxes. Part of me feels like if I buy a rod and put it in here, then it should only be in there. It shouldn't be in here as well, and here and here and here if I want it. I kind of feel like if you've got 3 tackle boxes, you have to buy 3 rods. I think that would work better. Because at the moment, it's just a bit too easy, a bit too simple. Right, so we got Hiachu, we got the basic setup, which is all fine. Again, I don't think the line makes any difference to anything. See, like they've got different colours and stuff, but I really don't think it makes any difference. I don't think the fish see the line. Other than the weight or the strength of the line, I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. Right, we are going float fishing. So we've already got these wagglers. I'll put a waggler on there. I'll put a waggler on there. And because there's nothing else in this game other than wagglers, spend a bit. How much money have I got? 6,610. Let's go for a Hiachu 12 waggler. They are slightly different. I mean, very slight variations. So this one, I guess, with that bulbous bit, will be harder to pull down. So it's very light and sensitive. A buoyant float that gives great bite indication. Ideal for use in shallow water and where fish can normally be shy of a float. Oh, is that a thing? Interestingly, this will cast accurately and consistently for all manner of coarse species. All right, let's go for that. Let's go for that one. Now, does that automatically add it? That's annoying because it should. Right. So, what we're going to do is white maggot. They're an absolute godsend, I've got to tell you. Night Glow sweet corn. Pop-up sweet corn developed by us or the US in 1999 is the bait that changed the face of modern day carp fishing and started the imitation bait revolution, now available in a Night Glow version. That's expensive. Red krill pellets, the ultimate pellet with natural Antarctic krill and krill oil. This pellet is super attractive with a low oil content. Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's go for that. So we're going to put red krill on this one, and this one is that alive or dead? That must be alive. So we'll go for some chopped worm on this one. And what do we got here? These flavour-packed hook baits are designed to be super attractive, using a blend of flavours on different bases. Blends of old-school flavours and combinations using the finest flavour packs available. Tiger nuts. A magnificent carp bait in its own right, but also renowned for being the one bait that other species will not touch. Oh, interesting. So carp, like, let's do that. Let's go for it. How much did I spend on that? 470, I hope, rather than 4,700. Right, we're going to try that. Because, oh, what? I can't. Oh, I see. I'm pretty sure I came in. Alright, sod it. We'll leave as is. We got the spod mix. We got the chopped worm and stuff. So I think we're good to go. It says here, edit name, but it doesn't show the name anywhere. You can just change it without knowing what it is. That's a poor UI design as well. Right. Okay, let's get out there. Let's do it. So what I find a little bit irritating is it doesn't tell you here which fish. So you have to join the event and then it tells you. And I just find that incredibly annoying. So when you go in, there's a little marker here that says float rig event to sort of warn you, but it doesn't stop you from taking the wrong rig at all. So you just have to remember to swap it. And when you've got like a full float box, it'll take that away. So we've got a boat. That's interesting. So I can take the boat out. We're looking for barbel, catfish, chub, carp, eel. We've got eel in the game now. Preferred baits: large shads, large dead bait, worms, medium swim baits. Okay. So, what's the biggest? The common carp's 45 pounds. So ideally carp then. Savoury boilies, sweet boilies, vegetables and grain. Let's go back. Let's change this. So annoying. Sim UK float for carp. They all appear to be 15mm boilies. I'm looking for something that says big boilies, or something that's bigger than 15mm. 18mm. Oh, there we go. Okay, Monster Red. This creamy, spicy combo has become a firm favourite for a large percentage of anglers because this bait releases its attractors very quickly thanks to its soluble nature. All year food source can be used for 12 months of the year. It's expensive though. Dark red in colour with a fish meal style aroma, the link immediately separates itself from the mainline range in appearance and smell, but there's far more to this bait than meets the eye or nose. This blend of rich nuts and creams to form a base mix that carp find irresistible. That's what we're after. Nutrine bottom baits. Should they be used on the bottom then? Is that what you're telling me? $20mm boilies. Made in conjunction with Terry Hearn and with a high protein, low temperature fish meal and other natural ingredients including Heath Robin's Red to give the bait its deep red colour and spicy flavour, and several other special ingredients. Added crushed out eggshells gives the bait its unique texture and a crunch that carp love. Oh no! I'm out of money! Oh, bum! Okay, let's go catch some stuff. So, we're gonna... The maggots have actually been really good to me. They say they like worm. So, let's filter by... Come on, just show me stuff I own. Oh, this is what I should have done. I should have filtered like this. I think I've bought the wrong stuff. Bugger! I have as well. I'm not sure that's going to work then. So all the stuff that I've put on there, I've put the wrong stuff on. Ah, ball aches. Right, I got 1300. What can we do? Imitation fluoro maggot. When fishing in murky waters or at night, Enterprise Tackle have developed the imitation fluoro maggots to be the perfect artificial alternative. Similar to the natural imitation maggots, this artificial bait is soft, buoyant, and it offers great visibility when fishing in murky waters. So we've already got Fluoros and Tutti Frutti. I think you can run out of these things as well, by the way, over time. But you don't have to buy any hooks, I don't think. I'll check that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to go for this imitation maggot. Let's see if the real maggot is better than the imitation maggot. Let's find out. There we go. Okay, so there's our 3 sets. Let's actually go do some fishing now. It's a half-hour tournament. I'm not going to edit it. So what I might do, if I get time, is split it up so that you can just skip to each catch as you see fit. I won't tell you what they are or how good they are, or even if I catch it, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's just jump in, shall we? Events, join event, start. Whoa, see, there you go. I accidentally started that and now I can't go back. I accidentally started that without changing my tackle box. Now that is actually a problem, because if I select a tackle box, then in my head that is the tackle box I expect to pick up when I walk out the door and go to a competition. So the fact that it always resets to that first one is actually bad UI design and a real pain in the arse, because this kind of thing will happen a lot. Fortunately, and rather unrealistically, when you get there you can swap. It's not the end of the world, it's just irritating. Right, here we go. So if I press I can then swap to my correct loadout. Alright. Now you can walk around, and I actually kind of like this feature, but unfortunately as soon as you start fishing it does lock you in, basically. And it's got to be, here we go. So hold E to claim the peg, and that's it. Now I can only walk so far. Eventually, there you go. Warning, you're about to leave the boundary of this peg. So I can, if I so wish, cast. And that's pretty cool, right? Except for the fact that now I can't move. So I can't get to my other rods, I can't do anything. So it's almost brilliant, but actually a complete disaster. And there's also a lot of problems with movement. If I'm walking towards me and I turn around the other way, they may have fixed this now. No, do you see that exaggerated turning around? It gets worse than that. Sometimes it's really bad. Sometimes when you push in the opposite direction, it will continue walking in the same direction, even though you've turned around. And obviously, if you're trying to get back to your rods, that's a big problem. Right, let's cast out. Let's go. Oh, that is definitely clunky. There you go. There's an example there. I didn't take those extra 2 steps. The game did it for me. And that is a problem. Right. Perfect. One out. Got rod number 2. A bit deeper. This is the advanced casting mechanics. And I don't know. I don't feel like they go far enough, to be honest with you. Kind of feel like the animation and the physics suggest that cast should have gone a lot further. But I do like how the water is making the float move. And you'll see that number 1 is really close to the shoreline now. This is a bit of a problem. And you can also walk out into the water a little bit, which I like. For realism purposes, that's good. Now you can see I'm right by the rods there, but I don't now have the option to pick up any rods. Rod selection is there. Do you see how I can't just turn around? It takes me away from the rods, and that's a real problem. They've really got to sort that out. Sometimes when you're standing in the rods like this, you can't even pick up the rods. It's a bit of a pain. Right, okay, nope, not that. Let's go back. I want to go, see, I press tab, even though I'm looking at the rods and I'm right by the rods, I can't pick anything up. I'm going to get a bit closer, and now I can. Now this throwing stick is god-awful. See how far that went? I haven't got my camera on today, so you can't see how I'm doing this, but it's just absolute crap. What works one time won't work the other time. See how far that one went? There is no consistency to this at all. It is absolute pants. I cannot get this to go where I want it to go. It's almost better to throw this crap out. Oh, for God's sake. It's almost better to throw this stuff out and then cast your line. Give up. Might be able to hit this one a bit easier. God's sake. Oh, what's going? Something's going. What's going? Who's beeping? I couldn't see any movement on any of them. This is not helping. There's fish round number 3 though. You see that? I don't even know where they're landing anymore. Right, let's get the spot out. Now the spot, I know these things are meant to cast, but there's no way of casting this short. These go... Oh, look at that, I cast it short. For the first time ever. These things just fly. See, that went so far that you can't even see it. That's 2 I've missed. And I missed that one because I couldn't change the reel in speed on my reel. Now, I'll explain very quickly why that was. I've got a G502 Logitech mouse, so I use G-Hub, and I had a bunch of buttons bound to my mouse so that I could change the speed of stuff. But because G-Hub is absolutely crap, I had to completely uninstall it and reinstall it the other day and lost all of my profiles. So that's why we don't have that anymore. Also, another thing that I find quite irritating is you can't put the spot out and then put the line down. Doesn't seem to allow you to do that. I'm going to show you another issue I have with the game. I'm sorry about this. I need to tell you about this stuff before I tell you about all the good stuff. Let's pick up line number 1. So there's the first problem, is when you pick up a line, there's a good 2 seconds where you can't do anything. So I clicked to reel in and nothing happened. And that will cost you a lot of fish. That really will. Now, you'll see here that when I go to cast, I can change my casting method. But I should also be able to adjust the line. Oh, there we go. Adjust hook length. It's come up now. But once you press the cast button, there's no way of coming out of it. You just have to cast. So, it says A to adjust hook length. It's not A, is it? It's this. It's caps lock. So, let's put that slightly further down. And seem to be having a lot of luck with 3. Oh great, I can't put it down. Oh, I had a bite then as well. Okay, so the reason I did that is to show you that each time you cast, if you catch a fish, it will reset the line length that you've set. I've done it again, haven't I? Right, can you see that fish's nose sticking out of the water? Just next to number 2 there. That's quite realistic, I guess, to a point, but I don't think you should be able to see it as clearly as that. And more importantly, sometimes you'll find that their noses... See, look at this fish over here on the left. See how it looks like it's out of the water? Sometimes their noses will be in the water, but the rest of their body is out of the water. So they're effectively doing a nose stand, which obviously is ridiculous. Right, let's get closer to this. What's going? 2's going. Give me 2, for God's sakes. Oh, here you go. Another problem. I cannot put the rod down. I cannot pick up rod number 2, and I'm stood right there. I just cannot pick anything up. Now I can do it. That is a big problem. That has cost me so many fish. Right, let's start this again. So, I'm miles behind now. Gonna start again. Whoa! That was a bad one. So, casting wise, you see the weight of that float at the back there? The physics on that are actually pretty good. The physics in the rest of the game, not so good. But if you bring that back and let it swing round... Oh god, I panicked then because I got an alert. If you swing it round... Oh, sugar. Should be paying attention to what I'm doing here. We're not going to win this competition. Great. We got a strike on 2. Or is it 3? Oh crap, I think it's 3. It is, it's 3. Fish on. This is a tiddler. But it's a fish, and it's our first fish. Oh, look at that red eye. That's a roach. Personal best, chopped worm. 34 TP on that. If you press Q, you get some extra information about the fish and stuff, which is pretty cool. You can also press Y so that you've got just a shot of you with the fish, which is nice. I like that. These are good things. Right, let's actually do some fishing now. I've bitched and moaned. The reason why I bitched and moaned so much is because there are so many things I wanted to say. Actually, you can press R to reset the cast. Even that doesn't work properly. Let's adjust the hook length. 3 feet. Let's do that. Alright, what line is not out? 2 is not out. We're not going to win this competition. Should have gone with the white maggot. So I want to adjust the hook length on this. Let's go like 5 feet. 5 feet. It's quite long. I mean, that's very, very long. But we've got to mix it up. Try different things. I'm very tempted to switch baits already. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to actually try and fish now. There's got to be about 4 fish that I didn't even try and reel in. So if I actually pay attention, we might catch up. You never know. It's only 16 minutes left though. Not having a great deal of luck anywhere. Got a little bit of movement over there by 3. Speaking of which, 4 strike, but we can work with that. Fish on. It's not a big fish. We got another fish on. Okay, we haven't got time for this. Pumpkin seed. Okay, continue A, continue A. Right, who's on? Can't see who's on. Is it line 2? Yes. Ah, boys. Again, I went to reel it in and nothing happened. So then I reeled it in proper fast. Oh. That was bloody awful. Let's try it a bit closer to the shore anyway. Why not? Seen a lot of fish moving around in this area. I think there might be one closer in. Again, you pick it up, you hit the reel in button and nothing happens. It's very annoying. So yeah, despite all the bitching and moaning, it's actually not a bad little game. Really isn't that bad at all. Has a lot going for it. It just needs a heck of a lot of polish and a whole bunch of bugs to be fixed, really. There's a few things I'd like to add, like, for example, if you can walk around, why not sit down? Why not give us the option to sit and chill and just enjoy the ambiance, and then obviously jump up as quick as you can and run to the rods and see, look, I'm standing there but I can't pick up the rods. Isn't that ridiculous? Come on. I mean, you could be a fanboy of this game, but you've got to admit that's ridiculous, is it not? God bloody hell. The movement is absolutely shocking. Bring one in. Not getting any luck over there. Obviously that's too deep there. Let's change that up. Go 2.5 feet. All the fish seem to be right by my feet here, don't they? But we're not getting any carp at all. So I think that's about the right depth there, 4.3 in such a deep area. Oh, did you see the rod physics then? Completely bent in half for a second. I'm going to have to set up my G-hub again to... what's going on there? I have to set up my G-hub again in order to get all my stuff on. All my button binds for this game. It's a lot easier with them on. Feels more realistic for a start. Oh, I can't put the bloody rod down. God's sake. Too deep there. But it should float out into the deeper stuff. He says. Oh, there we go. Well, 10 minutes left. We've caught 2 fish. To be fair, I've been mostly focusing on bitching and whinging and moaning than anything else. There's a fish right... Look at that fish out of the water. Right, so I'm going to try and do a medium cast. That actually went further... That went into the rocks. Did you see that? We are right on that fish's face. That's what we're after, is that fish right there. Perfect strike. We didn't get the fish we wanted, but it is a fish. And at the moment, that's what we need. That's probably the best fish we've caught today, I think. Just a chub. Common fish. £2, 9 ounces. Alright, we're going after that carp. As long as I cast in the right place. Let's put one there. Which looks like a crappy cast. And I'll agree with you because it is. And we'll put another one right next to it. Slightly crappy fishing. But we've got 8 minutes left and we're second from last, so that's too deep. Just that too. See, sometimes the gentle cast goes further than the cast where you're trying to give it full Wellington boots. It just seems completely inconsistent to me. 2 is set up perfectly. Because that line is out of the water. It's taut, but it's not pulling. And obviously the float is heading towards the shore because of the way the water is moving, which is great. I think that's a fantastic feature. I don't know if anyone's really sort of highlighted that, but I think it's cool. Try and get some Tutti Frutti out there. Where did that one go? Have you any idea? Oh, this is another thing I was going to mention, or I did mention in the video that I lost. Watch this. Did you hear that sound effect? No matter how slowly or how fast I move, it'll always make that noise. Oh, okay, there is a limit. Poor strike, but we're on. Just a tiddler. In you come. Oh, it's one of those. I caught the boss fish of this. Pumpkin seed, that's it. Nothing special, but moved us up one place. We're now 57th. So I'm going to shorten this one. I think it's too long. Ah! Good strike. This is a proper fish. This is a proper fish. I've got 5 minutes to reel this bad boy in. Look at him go. This could win us the competition alone. Come on. Come on. Yeah, what have we got? Don't you dare. Yes, what is it? That is a proper fish. Yes! Awesome. That's a barbel, common fish. Personal best, £10, 2 ounces. Look at that. That's on the chopped worm. It's been a bit of a crappy day, but that's a real, just a bonus there for that. Also, when you're fighting, I'm not happy with that actually. When you're fighting, you'll find that you need an awful lot of mouse space. I've got like 40 centimeters of mouse mat to play with, and I'm finding that's not enough. Oh my god. What's going? Two's going mad. Oh, too early. Oh, kidding me. I thought that was too late. Felt like I was waiting forever to pull that in. God's sake. So you can see from my excitement on the barbell that we caught, or the barbel, that you know, this game is pretty good actually. It's definitely leaning further towards arcade than simulation, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it's very chilled out. But it's also, I tell you what, it could be a great sim if they fixed all the issues that I've mentioned. 3 minutes left. We might get one more, you never know, but we're definitely not going to win. It's interesting that they're calculating the weight as you go rather than at the end, which is how I think it's done in real life, isn't it? If I'm mistaken. Did that land? That's about where I want it there. Where did that one go? Oh, typical. Pick up line 1 and line 3 goes. Ah, you son of a bitch. That's where we want it as well. Oh, hello. Do we have a little nibble then? I'm not sure. I do like the ambient sound effects, aeroplanes flying overhead and stuff. Sounds pretty good. I've never been a fan of trees moving like this. We're not in a gale force wind. It should be far more gentle than this. I know what they've used. I can't remember the name of it now, but there's like a software like add-on thing that you can get for trees, and they all look the same. They all look bad. I'm sorry, they don't look good. Come on. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, I've not seen that before. Snatched out of the water and landed on the shore. That was quite cool. Great, now 2's going. Unsuccessful. Oh god, now 3's going. You can have nothing and then... Oh god, that didn't catch either. I'm blaming the animation for that. Because there's a massive delay between when you say press button 3 and it actually picks it up and allows you to reel in. It's far too much. Far too long. Still. My first look. Fish. Don't be an arse. Come on. It's a good strike. Just get in here. 2 seconds. 1 second. Oh, that's in. Oh, come on. That was in. £16 and 15 ounces. We finished 60th. £221 and 7 ounces for Ian Russell in first place. So we were absolutely shocking. But, do you know what? I had a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed that. And yeah, I got a couple of personal bests. This was my favourite here, the barbell. £10, 2 ounces. And we missed loads, partly because, well, partly I'm going to blame the game because I feel like it doesn't work very well when you're trying to pick up rods and stuff, but also partly because I was talking to you rather than fishing. So, if you enjoyed that, please let me know by hitting the like button. Leave me some comments below. Ask me some questions about the game if you want, and I'll quite happily address those questions in future videos or perhaps in the review. But yeah, I plan on playing a bit more of this, so I'll tell you what, in the next episode I'll actually try and fish, because in this one I was just trying to remember all the things I'd said in the previous 4 hours of gameplay that I'd had, and I was trying to squeeze it all in before I forget it, if you know what I mean, the issues and stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Honestly, this is not a bad game. It's got a lot of issues. It's very frustrating because of those issues and limitations, but underneath all the Dovetail games' lack of polish and quality, they've actually built a very good game here. And with a bit of TLC, again, not something Dovetail games are well known for, but with a bit of TLC and not DLC, in case you misheard me there, Dovetail games, with a bit of TLC, a bit of improvement and a bit of time, this could really genuinely be one of the best fishing games I've played. It's got all the potential to be very, very good, but it isn't because of all the bugs and issues and limitations that are in games that Dovetail make, or so it seems. But who knows, maybe they'll listen this time. They certainly seem to have made some positive changes with this game, and they seem to have distanced themselves from Fishing Sim World, which is interesting. I find that very interesting. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye for now.